play with M and you coach with Phil and work with Kobe. What's the difference between those two, in your opinion?
Right hand.
Why?
Well, Kobe would be going to the line to shoot 2. MJ was going to shoot and 1.
Mm-hmm. And I've got to say, in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog that I have ever heard. Everyone's laughing, by the way, but it's true because everybody's heard it too. Everyone heard it, right? They look at all, everyone's like, yeah, big piece of dog.
I'm not letting people revise history. I'm not letting people come on and talk about Kobe like Kobe wasn't one of the best that not only played, but that came in as a 17-year-old against grown men. Not everybody could be Kobe.
Charles Barkley just lit a match under the basketball world with one comment about Kobe Bryant, and chaos followed instantly. Once you hear what he said, it's clear why players are heated right now. A reporter asked Oakley a simple question about the difference between playing with MJ versus playing with Kobe, and his answer hit hard. Oakley said the difference comes down to the right hand. When the reporter pushed him to explain, Oakley dropped a cold line. Kobe goes to the line for 2 free throws, but MJ gets the and 1. The room laughed, but that wasn't just a joke. That was a slick shot at Kobe's legacy, plain and simple. But the guys who actually battled Kobe on the court aren't laughing anymore. They're speaking up now. And what they're saying about who Kobe really was flips the whole story upside down.
He exploded.
I'm not letting people revise history. I'm not letting people come on and talk about Kobe like Kobe wasn't one of the best that not only played, but that came in as a 17-year-old against grown men. And by the time this man was 22 years old, he had a few championships and he was busting the best of the best ass. If y'all don't knock that shit off, I'm talking to y'all at home, the fucking media talking heads, the ones that casually throw names around like, bro, if you don't knock it off, you weren't like that. It's okay. Not everybody could be Kobe. Not everybody could wear those size, you know what I mean, size shoes that he had. Yeah, I'm not going down into detail about this because what's said on the internet and the digital space is said. It's the internet. But when it comes to real respect and real recognizing real, this man, Kobe Bean Bryant, is immortalized not just because of his basketball. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Like, this man, he is way bigger because of the character, because of what we witnessed him go through. We didn't care if we didn't care about certain failures. The real Kobe fans didn't care about the failures. They didn't care about the naysayers. The real Kobe fans, the real Mamba fans that I'm talking to didn't care about who he was competing with. We know who fucked with Kobe and who didn't. I know who fucked with Kobe and who didn't. I'm not gonna say I knew Kobe the best at all. I won't say that. You know, I'm not gonna disrespect all his relationships. I'm not gonna do that. But what I will say is, put respect where it's due, y'all. We know who Kobe fucked with.
There's a weird pattern that's been forming in basketball lately, and if you've been locked in, you've seen it growing. Wave after wave of disrespect keeps slamming into Kobe Bryant's legacy. It's coming from desk analysts, loud media voices, and even some former players who should know better. Shaq recently said he could have won more rings with T-Mac or Steph instead of Kobe, which is wild. Think about that. 3 straight titles together, 3 rings side by side, and now Kobe gets pushed aside. That's not confidence talking.
Like, you had MJ, who would be that mentee for you?
Yeah, I have a few of them. You know, Kyrie certainly. I mean, I remember sitting on the couch at home after Cleveland came back from that 3-1 deficit and beat Golden State. And then my phone rings, and it's FaceTime call. And I'm like, I hate FaceTime calls. Like, don't FaceTime call me, you know, unless it's my family, right? But it's Kyrie. Like, all right, let me pick it up. I pick it up, and Kyrie's in the locker room celebrating on FaceTime. I'm like, dude, it worked. Your advice worked. You know what I mean? Like, he's completely freaking out. He's like, hey, Gigi. And Gigi's like, hey, congratulations. He's like, oh, my God. And, like, champagne spilling all over the place. So I was really, really proud of him. But so I'd say Kyrie's probably the one I'm closest.
Then came the all-time list ranking Kobe at number 11. 5 championships, 18 All-Star appearances, and still the disrespect keeps coming. 81 points in a single game. And somehow a committee looked at that resume and said, number 11 felt right. That's where it gets crazy. The people building these lists mostly never played pro basketball, living in spreadsheets and advanced metrics, trying to calculate greatness like it's a math problem. But the guys who actually stepped on the court against Kobe Bryant tell a totally different story. Kyrie Irving hit his breaking point and absolutely exploded on a podcast recently. And when I say exploded, I mean he went off. Kyrie made it clear he refuses to let history get rewritten and won't let people sit on shows talking about Kobe like he wasn't one of the greatest ever. Kyrie also reminded fans of something people love to forget. Kobe came into the league at just 17 years old. While most teenagers were stressing about school or their first car, Kobe was battling grown men who'd already paid their dues in the league. And he wasn't out there just surviving. He was competing at the highest level and taking heads off. Multiple championships already had Kobe's name on them. And by age 22, he was tearing apart the best players on the biggest stages. Kyrie made it crystal clear that if you weren't there, you need to stop acting like you understand. Then he dropped the line that hit hardest. The real Kobe fans never cared about failures or noise. And as Kyrie said, we know exactly who rocked with Kobe when he was alive, and we know who faked the love after he passed.
If you want to ask us hoopers who played against Kobe, we talking, all of us gonna talk top 3. Like we all gonna talk top 3 if you played against Mamba. But from someone's opinion that's never played against Kobe, has never played a game of basketball at the level that we played at, having him at 11, okay. Why am I up in arms about something like that? I remember when Kobe was alive. They had rankings when he played in the league and they had him low. I remember one year and Kobe addressed it. Like, who is these idiots? Like, why would I listen to these idiots? And I'm not calling the person who did this an idiot, but what I'm saying is when someone does something like that, Kobe was like, this is idiotic to me.
That statement hits different because Kyrie Irving is really saying this out loud now. Some of the same people tearing down Kobe Bryant today stayed silent when Kobe was alive and could speak for himself. They waited until he was gone to start picking at what he built, and that timing says everything. The people who are truly close to Kobe see straight through the noise. Most fans have no idea how deep the bond between Kyrie and Kobe actually ran. This wasn't just 2 stars showing respect from a distance. It was real family energy.
I had the luxury at 16, 17 years old to work with Kobe.
Yep.
You know, so I had that cheat code to really just sit there and lock in and listen to him and really break down details and small movements and learn how to play in the phone booth and be able to get your shot off. You know what I mean? So I learned that early on.
Kobe didn't just mentor Kyrie, he claimed him. When Kobe talked about young players he took under his wing, the same way Michael Jordan once guided him, Kyrie's name came up immediately. And then Kobe told a story that showed just how tight they really were. Fast forward to 2016. The Cleveland Cavaliers had just pulled off the impossible, coming back from a 3-1 deficit against the Golden State Warriors in the finals. Kyrie had just drilled that legendary shot over Stephen Curry, sealing one of the coldest moments in NBA history. The whole world was watching, and Kobe was at home when his phone lit up with a FaceTime call. Kobe hated FaceTime, only answered those for family. But when Kyrie's name popped up, he picked up instantly. Kyrie was in the locker room, champagne flying everywhere, losing his mind with joy, yelling that it worked, and Kobe's advice really worked. Standing next to Kobe was Gianna Bryant, smiling and congratulating Kyrie through the screen. That moment was pure happiness. This wasn't business, this wasn't PR, this was trust, mentorship, and real love for the game.
What makes Kobe special in players' mind, in a player's mind himself? We don't go by your stats. We don't go by the accolades. We go by how the person played, what was his attributes, right? So when you think about the greatest players of all time, 80% of them have God gift, natural talent, ability, body. Jordan, 48-inch vertical. You got the big hand. You got LeBron, Shaquille O'Neal, and Magic 6'9" point guard with vision. Kobe, standard. If I give you every 6'6" guard in the NBA and NBA history, you would never find him. You would never find Kobe because he didn't have big hands. He wasn't quick. He wasn't fast. 38-inch vertical, that's standard. And what he did with that body, it's like you took a S500 and he was pushing it like a Bugatti. That's what we look at. We look at the normal person fighting God.
That's why Kyrie defending Kobe cuts so deep. He's not guarding a legacy ranking or stats sheet. He's protecting someone who helped shape the man he became, someone who believed in him before the world caught on. For Kyrie, this was never about lists. It's about loyalty, and that means everything. Kyrie isn't standing alone on this. When that number 11 ranking dropped, Dwayne Wade spoke up immediately. And this is a man who actually went to war with Kobe Bryant on the biggest stage. Wade called the ranking straight up insulting, then said something that should have ended the debate right there. Wade kept it simple. Ask any hooper who actually played against Kobe, and every single one will tell you the same thing. Top 3, period. No hesitation, no debate, no pause.
Phil calls me up to his office and says, Kobe, okay, I need you to dial it back. I'm like, why? Like, we're winning. I don't understand. It's because our goal is to win a championship. And we can get through the Western Conference with you playing this way. But in the East, you know, we can dominate them inside with Shaq in the post. But if you continue to do this, we'll lose Shaq. We'll lose him.
His motivation, his excitement.
What triggers him, right? So I need you to pull back so we can pull Shaq forward for June. Wow. And I just looked at him like, man, this is one smart dude.
Wow,
That's
really smart.
Yeah, that's one smart dude, man.
If you ever stepped on that court and had to guard Kobe or tried to score while he was locked in, you're putting him top 3 without thinking twice. That's real respect earned in real battles. Wade also drew a clear line after that. When an opinion comes from someone who never faced Kobe, never played at that level, and still ranks him at 11, that tells you exactly how much weight that take deserves. There's a massive difference between watching basketball and surviving it, between clicking stats on a screen and having Kobe staring you down in the fourth quarter of a playoff game. The players who live through that carry a respect no spreadsheet can ever measure. Wade reminded everyone this isn't new either. When Kobe was alive, these same lists disrespected him, and Kobe called it out every time. He questioned who these people were and why anyone listened. Now that he's gone, the noise has only gotten louder. That's why guys like Wade and Kyrie feel forced to step in. Something beautiful is fading from basketball right now, and Kobe was its last true master, the mid-range game. Back when the sport looked different, Kobe, Michael Jordan, and Tracy McGrady owned that 15 to 20-foot zone like sacred ground. That footwork took years. Those fadeaways demanded perfect timing. The one dribble pull-up separated good from great. Now analytics run everything. Preaching the mid-range is inefficient, and that message is loud. Take a 3 or take a layup. And according to the numbers, everything in between is a bad shot. That's the math they swear by now. And here's the wild part. If Kobe Bryant played today with the exact same game, basketball Twitter would drag him daily. They'd scream inefficient, point at his field goal percentage, and say he took terrible shots. That's how backwards things have gotten. But DeMar DeRozan wants no part of that noise. He shut the analytics talk down real fast when he said every championship team you've ever watched won games in the mid-range. He doesn't care how many threes teams launch. When the moment gets tight and everything's on the line, the mid-range decides games. DeMar speaks from real experience, not theory. As a teenager, he trained directly with Kobe, soaking up knowledge most players only dream about. He called it a cheat code, learning how to operate in tight space, how to get a shot off when defenders give you nothing. That wisdom flowed straight from the master to the student. Every small movement, every detail, every trick to survive in a phone booth, it was all passed down. And that's the sad truth for younger fans today. Many think basketball started with Stephen Curry launching logo threes, but real ones know the mid-range was never just a shot. It was a weapon, and nobody wielded it better than Kobe. Gilbert Arenas broke it down perfectly. Players don't rank greatness by stats or trophies. They judge by how someone actually played. What skills did they have? What tools were in their bag? Once you understand that, you'll never look at Kobe the same again. Here's the real truth about the greatest players ever. About 90% of them showed up blessed with gifts you can't teach. Natural talent, freak athleticism, physical tools that look straight up unfair. Michael Jordan had a near 48-inch vertical and massive hands. LeBron James is a physical anomaly science still can't explain. Shaquille O'Neal dominated just by existing in the paint. Magic Johnson ran point at 6 feet, 9 inches with vision nobody could touch. These legends came preloaded with advantages most humans could never build, no matter the grind. But Kobe Bryant is a different story entirely. Gilbert Arenas broke it down perfectly. Line up every 6'6" guard in NBA history, and you still won't find another Kobe. No massive hands, no elite burst, not the fastest guy on the floor. His vertical hit 38 inches. Solid but standard NBA athleticism, nothing crazy. What Kobe did with that regular equipment blew Arenas' mind. He compared it to taking a Mercedes S500 and pushing it like a Bugatti. Kobe didn't have supercar parts under the hood, just normal ones. But he drove that thing like it was the fastest machine alive. And sometimes he smoked the real supercars. That's what players see when they study Kobe, a man who wasn't born with everything but built everything. They see the obsession, the work ethic, the refusal to let limits write his ending. And for players who truly get what that takes, that kind of greatness hits different. Kobe once shared a story most people overlook. Real sacrifice doesn't look the way fans imagine. During their title runs, Phil Jackson called Kobe into his office and told him he needed to dial it back. Confusion hit Kobe Bryant hard because they were winning. Nothing looked broken, so why mess with it? That's when Phil Jackson laid it out calmly. The goal wasn't regular season wins, it was championships. They could survive the Western Conference grind with Kobe at full speed. But when the finals came, they needed Shaquille O'Neal owning the paint. Phil warned that if Kobe kept taking over games and demanding the ball, they wouldn't lose Shaq through a trade or free agency. They'd lose his fire, his hunger, the edge that made him unstoppable. So Phil asked Kobe to dial it back during the season and early playoff rounds. Let Shaq shine, let Shaq build momentum. Save the real Kobe for June, when titles were actually on the line. Kobe looked at Phil and thought one thing: this is a smart dude, and he did exactly what was asked. Kobe deliberately suppressed his own game. He accepted worse box scores so Shaq would be fully locked in when it mattered most. That kind of sacrifice never shows up on stat sheets. It only shows up in championship rings. Then Shaq left, and the entire basketball world wrote Kobe off. They said he was done winning. Pressure came from every angle, but Kobe delivered anyway. 2 more championships. As the unquestioned leader, he proved he could carry a franchise on his back. So before anyone throws ring counts around like they settle every debate, remember this: context matters, leadership matters. Robert Horry has 7 rings, more than Kobe and LeBron James, but nobody calls him the GOAT. How you earn rings will always matter more than how many you stack. There's a pattern in the NBA nobody really wants to say out loud. Veterans constantly take shots at younger players. Some legends take it personal when a new generation shows up with its own style and its own lane. Instead of guiding them, they throw shade instead of game. For some, it turns into a habit. They don't even limit it to real rivals anymore. Young stars just trying to find their footing become easy targets. Shaquille O'Neal made Dwight Howard a regular punching bag for years. Podcasts, interviews, any mic he could grab. It was open season. He labeled Dwight soft, cracked jokes, and kept piling it on again and again. But Kobe Bryant moved on a completely different frequency. Kobe was one of the rare legends who truly welcomed the next generation. He trained with Jason Tatum, helped Giannis Antetokounmpo add layers to his game, and backed Devin Booker when doubt was loud around him. Kobe never saw young players as threats to his legacy. He saw them as the future of the game he loved. That was his real legacy. Not just rings, points, or highlight tapes. What truly matters is what you leave behind for the ones coming next. Kobe poured knowledge into the next wave instead of tearing them down. That's why players today still talk about him with real respect in their voices. None of this debate is really about rankings or numbers. Strip it all away. And it's about something bigger. What Kobe meant to the game, the culture, and millions of people around the world. Kyrie Irving captured it perfectly when he said Kobe Bryant is immortalized. And not just because of basketball. His impact stretches way past any stat line. His character defines his legacy. What people watched him endure, survive, and overcome the setbacks, the comebacks, the non-stop hunger for greatness. That's what really matters. Even when the world counted him out, real Kobe fans never fixated on failures. The noise never mattered. They connected with the man, the competitor, the one who showed up every single night ready to give everything he had. So when lists pop up ranking Kobe at 11, or former players try to downplay what he did, understand what's really happening? History is being rewritten in real time. And the ones who were actually there, the ones who knew him, battled him, and faced him night after night, are not letting that slide. Put respect where it belongs. Kobe's legacy will never be defined by an analyst's spreadsheet. It's measured by the fire he lit in every player who watched him work. That fire is still burning today, and no amount of disrespect will ever put it out. If you felt this, hit like, subscribe, and share, because legends deserve respect always.